nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Eternal God, our Father, Lord, we thank you for this day. As our students embark on their new journey this school year, continue to keep them and the teachers safe. Continue to cover our police and our fire department, and continue to cover our city and our residents. We thank you in Jesus' name, amen.
Clerk Golick, roll call.
Alexander.
Present.
Spitelli.
Here.
Vanez.
Here.
Kowinski.
Here.
Salinas.
Here.
Tyler.
Here.
Emerson.
Here.
Rakels.
Here.
Warple.
Here. Let the record show 9 present, 0 absent, all 9 in chambers. Mayor?
Hi, nice to see you all. This is my report for August 11, 2025. We held WHAM this year, although I was not able to attend this year. I think it's the first time I've ever missed WHAM, but we had a really good turnout this year. We track our numbers going back from before the pandemic. We had as high as 1,500 during the pandemic of registered. Keep in mind, WHAM is you register, but there's a lot of people that just show up. So we know for a fact we had at least 900 riders this year. That doesn't include the number of people that showed up without registering properly. So going back, we had as low as 300 one year. We had as high as 1,500 one year, but we usually average around 750 to 800 registered. So this year we did a exceptional job. So I wanted to say congratulations to Hammond Port Authority, Jeff Smith, Raquel Welch, everybody that worked so hard over there. As usual, I also attended our monthly police department captains meeting where we discussed crime statistics, emerging trends, and personnel matters. We also held National Night Out at the PAV in the 1st District. That was a great turnout this year. I don't remember a better evening as far as weather. It was absolutely perfect that night. Everybody seemed like they had a real good time. We gave out bikes. We had a lot of good times. There's bubbles and kids, and it was a good time. So thanks to everybody that worked so hard on National Night Out. It seems like it's starting to really take off. Attended a ribbon cutting in 3rd District. Councilman Berry and I were both there. Tootie's Chicken and Fish in Hammond's 3rd District, right there on Columbia Avenue, right by MLK Park. This is the 2nd location for Tootie's. It's already had a Crown Point location going very well. Same menu and everything. The gentleman, Baptiste Haywood, who opened this new restaurant, is a Hammond resident, grew up across the street. And literally, he doesn't live in Hammond anymore, but he wanted to come back home and open a restaurant. So came back home, right across the street from where his grandmother lived, opened a restaurant. I wish him the best of luck, and I appreciate everybody going out and helping get Tootie's off to a good start. Meeting with Sportsplex and Park Department leadership. This seems like it's an annual issue we're dealing with. We had a big fight at the Sportsplex basketball league. Big fight, cops are called, call them into City Hall, read them the riot act. I'm doing what mayors are supposed to do. I'm being told that it's just a sort of a part of the game. But I never played basketball. I'm not very good at it, but I do know that I hate fights and I hate violence, and it seems like we've had too much recently. So called in the Park Department leadership, called in the Sportsplex leadership, did what mayors do, read them the riot act, said you can't be fighting, can't be calling the cops out to the Sportsplex, we can't do this anymore. So I'll keep you guys appraised if we keep having this problem. Met with Councilman Al Salinas and myself on Columbia Park. Had a good meeting, talking about ideas that we could possibly do down the road. And I said to Councilman Al what I say to all councilmen, all district councilmen that want to do their districts, is I have 6 districts. I have a lot of councilmen that want to do park projects, so we're trying to be fair with everybody. So attended a meeting with a condo developer in Indianapolis with the economic development team. This business, Flaherty and Collins, is a well-known residential condo developer across the state of Indiana. They have multiple Hoosier clients. They have clients across the country. They have a building in downtown Indy. We were on the 35th floor, I believe, talking about what they want to do in Hammond. They want 2 sites in Hammond. They want 2nd and, well, actually both of them are in the 2nd District. They want Gateway and they want downtown. We want them too, but their price tag's a little high for us, so we're trying to see if there's anything we could do to try to pull these guys in. They're excellent, and they badly want to be in Hammond. They've developed projects in Elkhart, Michigan City, so they know how to do it in urban areas, and they really want to come to Hammond. So I thought it was a really good meeting. Attended summer concert series, another 1st District thing. Seems like in the 1st District, kicks butt during the summer. Another perfect example, Echoes of Pompeii played the other day at the PAV. For Pink Floyd fans out there, they were unbelievable. And there was 1,000 people, and that was probably one of the larger crowds we've had in a long time at a summer concert series. They go every Saturday. I know the council people go out there a lot, and I appreciate you being there. So next week is RICO. It's the Carlos Santana Tribute Band. So that's on Saturday at 7 o'clock. It's free everything. For those watching out there, free parking, BYOB. Get there early, you can get right in front of the stage. We have food trucks out there. That's not free, but you don't have to pay. Met with the police and fire department chiefs over recent executive order signed by the mayor. I wanted to talk to you all about it. This is something that we've been talking about in regards to Senate Bill 1 passing last year and being signed by the governor, which freezes our growth levies going forward. We know that the state of Indiana passed this in April, and here we are in mid-August. They still can't tell us how much we're going to lose under Senate Bill 1. They have no idea. They're calculating the numbers. They passed this. They have no idea the impact it's going to have on our budget. They said, well, don't worry, Mayor. There's a municipal income tax option where you could replace the revenue that we're taking from you. So obviously that's an involved effort. That has to be something that the council agrees to. That has to be something that the mayor agrees to. So I said, well, how much, if we enacted the municipal income tax, how much revenue would that bring into the city of Hammond? They said, we don't know, Mayor. So let me get this straight. State, you have no idea how much it's going to cost the city of Hammond, and you have no idea how much the municipal income tax will put in the city of Hammond. That's true. But it's coming. Next year's budget, not this year's budget. When we're working on next year's budget, we're going to start to see the effects. When we're working on the budget after that, it's going to be fully in effect. And the thumb rule we're being told is $8 million we're going to lose out of our already tight budget. So I don't have any answers for you as far as revenue projections or losses. All I know is the two most expensive departments are police and fire, and we have obligations that we have to make a year in advance with these police officers and firefighters. We have about 8 to 10 police officers going through the pipeline right now. We're not gonna turn our backs on those officers that we've committed to. We have about 8 firefighters that we've committed to as well. We're not gonna turn our backs on those firefighters, but those are the last that are gonna come in. Hiring freeze goes after that. I told the personnel office not to process any more job openings until we know more. It's a case-by-case basis. If we have a position that resigns, let's say Liz in the council office gets another job, and she's the only one that does their job. Obviously, we're gonna post that job because it's the only person that could do the job, right? But if there's a resignation in streets and we have 25 different drivers, maybe we won't fill that one. That's what I'm talking about. Until we know more, I think this is a responsible thing to do. I sent the council a copy of the executive order. I'm willing to answer any questions. I don't know how much I can answer for you because the state can't even answer what the impact's gonna be. But they signed it into law. So we'll find out down the road what the impact's gonna be. So that's my report. I'm available to answer any questions if you have them.
Anyone have any questions for the mayor?
Mayor,
Councilwoman Vines?
I just wanted to say Wham once again was a huge success. Councilman Spitali and I are always on the corner
Lyman.
of 173rd and Lyman.
Always, I always stop.
And it's always fun. And you know what amazes me is that the police officer, whoever is out there, has his lights flashing and people drive by. I'm like, okay. But anyway.
I almost got hit by a car in Wham about 10 years ago. Literally. Got lucky I didn't get hit. He drove right through the intersection like you said.
Right.
That's why I always give a safety briefing, but I didn't this year. But usually that's one of the things I say, is you may pull up on an intersection with your bike. You may see officers with their lights flashing. You're going to assume that those cars are going to stop. You cannot assume that during Wham, because sometimes they don't. Yes, ma'am.
Exactly.
Thank you for what you do, by the way. You and Councilman Spitali. I'm used to stopping there on 73rd and Lyman.
Right.
So
I looked at my T-shirt and it was 2010. That's how long we've been doing it.
That's pretty solid.
So,
Thank you.
Yeah. But I do want to arrange a meeting with you to talk about Wham.
Yes, ma'am.
But it was very, very good. And National Night Out, of course, has grown huge. It's just huge. And we have so many people there from many different communities, and it's nice to showcase what we have in our community.
Well, I appreciate it,
So
Councilwoman.
thank you.
Yeah, the police, and they did a good job. The committee that put the event together did a real good job. And I remember one year we had National Night Out, and the sheriff's helicopter flew in, and I was embarrassed that year because we had such a small turnout, and I swore, I'm like, we're never going to do this again. And this year, the sheriff's helicopter flew in, and we were slammed with people. We did our job. So thank you, Councilwoman, for the help in recognizing that. So,
Councilman Kowinski.
hi, Councilman.
Evening. Wondered if you or Scott had any updates about the hotel that hotel was going to put up at the old car wash.
Haven't heard anything.
There seemed to be such a rush last fall to get it done, and nothing's happened there, and the weeds are getting high, and no demo of the building.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything. I'll follow it up, though. Could you send me something? Do you mind having Liz fire off a memo to me just so I can follow it up, Councilman? Okay, thanks. Thanks. I'll follow it up. I haven't heard recently, Councilman. I thought you were going to ask me about NIPSCO. I haven't heard anything about that either.
Thank you.
Haven't heard anything at all. They went dark, which I don't think is a good sign personally, but because I don't want to throw punches either, because they'll just turn the light switch off and turn off our project. So I'm just sort of sitting here being patient, hoping that they're doing the right thing over at NIPSCO.
We haven't read anything in the paper either recently.
All I read is how much people hate data centers, and we have a data center sitting here nobody's opposed to because it doesn't bother anybody. It's not close to any houses, and NIPSCO's stalling and threatening the project. And it's a big project for our city, so it makes me nervous.
Another question. The West Point
I drove through it just a couple days ago.
is still vacant.
The what?
141st and Columbia,
Uh-huh.
where the Walmart used to have
Yeah.
trucks.
I was there the other day. They were,
Did you see anything?
yeah.
And-
I thought somebody took it over again. All right, I'll follow that up also, Councilwoman.
And, the berm, the grass is like 2 feet high.
Okay. All right, thanks.
It just looks like it's been deserted and somebody walked away from it.
All right, I appreciate it. Any other questions? I'm sorry if I blindsided you all with the hiring freeze. Because it didn't go down the way I thought that I wanted to. We've been talking about it for about a week in the administration, and then they drafted it last week. I get to the office this morning, I read it and approved it on the spot, and then I thought, I always talk to the council before I do this, so I scrambled, and I gave you guys a copy after. I apologize, okay? It's an executive order. I mean, it has nothing to do with the council, but it has a lot to do with the council because we work together on, I just want you all to know I usually do it differently, and I apologize if you were blindsided today, so. But I think it's a good thing. We're gonna not add to the problem that we could have. Maybe we won't have a problem. Maybe they'll come out and say, you're gonna lose 8 million, and if you do the income tax, you're gonna make 9 million, and we have no problem. But we don't have a clue. And I just don't think adding to the problem until we know what's going on is wise, so. But I'm open to suggestions. Nobody gave me a rule book on how to be mayor. I'm just sort of figuring it out, so if you have any suggestions, please yell them at me, so. Any other questions?
Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
you were.
Can I say something real quick for you? I wanted to apologize to Councilwoman Katrina. The other day at 2D's grand opening, I mentioned every council person in attendance, and I didn't see the councilwoman there, and I wanted to apologize to her because I don't do that stuff in public, and I wanted to say that I'm sorry about that. That was in your neighborhood too. It's very embarrassing.
Thank you.
So
The question you were just saying about a municipal tax, where would that come from?
that would be income, Councilwoman. We'd have to pass it locally. So if we passed it locally, it would be an income tax on residents that live in our city. I'm not sure if that applies to people that work in our city also, because that would be interesting, because there's a lot of people that work in our city that don't live in our
Yeah,
city.
so I'm just curious on that.
I'm not sure either, Councilwoman. They don't really have a lot of answers.
Once you figure it out.
No, it's wonderful. It's wonderful if it covers what we're going to lose. But this is just a shell game, in my opinion, Councilwoman. We have property tax caps that limit us to 1% of our homes, okay? I don't really think 1% for a home's value is very high. It's one of the lowest in the Midwest. And then Governor Braun takes over and says, we have this big problem with property taxes, so he cuts it. Every Hoosier's going to get $300 off of their property taxes, and then we're going to end up laying off teachers and firemen and police officers. I'd rather you keep the $300 and keep my teachers and our firemen and our police officers working personally, but I'm not the governor, so Councilwoman, I don't know. I promise you, as soon as I learn, I'll tell you when I come here, okay? I wish I knew. I wish I did, Councilwoman. It's part of the problem that we don't. Thank you all. Nice to see you. Have a nice meeting.
Item number 4, approval of minutes.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes from the July 28th meeting and place them on file.
Second.
Motion's been made by Councilman Salinas, seconded by Councilman Emerson. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Item number 5, approval of claims.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Venez.
yes, I move for approval of claims beginning with claims dated July 23rd, 2025, and ending with claims dated August 6th, 2025. Claim number 6791 through 7294 inclusive, in the amount of $13,327,765.47.
Second.
Motion's been made by Councilwoman Venez, seconded by Councilman Spitali. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Clerk Golick, roll call.
Alexander.
Yes.
Spitali.
Yes.
Venez.
Yes.
Galwinski.
Yes.
Salinas.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Emerson.
Yes.
Rakels.
Yes.
Warple.
Yes, let the record show the motion carries, 9 in favor, 0 opposed. Item number 6, public hearings. There are none. Item number 7, communications.
Mr. President,
Councilman Salinas.
I have 3 announcements I'd like to make. The first being that every Monday night during the summer is a cruise night at Paradise Mototiki, 489 Fayette in downtown Hammond, from 5 to 9 p.m. We have cars that show up from Chicago to Michigan that all participate. If you haven't been to one, it's a good time. Second announcement is that this Friday, August 15th, from 6 to 9 p.m., the Art Table will be presenting a self-portraiture exhibit by the name of Exposed. They'll be set up between the Paul Henry and the Toll Theater, right in the alleyway. Their main attraction is a gentleman by the name of Bryce Clark. My third announcement, I wanted to just say thank you to Devin Wick of the Parks Department and his crew, Juan Serrano from the Public Works Department and his crew, Councilman Dave Warple, and the Art Table Group for their efforts in helping clean up the Dan Rabin Transit Plaza in downtown Hammond. Great job, it looks excellent. Thank you all.
That it?
Mr. President.
Anybody else got anything on the communications? Anybody else got anything on the communications? Communications are closed. Item number 8, committee reports. Any committee reports?
Mr. President,
Councilman Salinas.
I'd like to recap our Capital Improvement Board meeting from August 4th, 2025. We had 10 funding allocations, and I'll go through all 10 here now. Funding allocation number 264 was a geotechnical services for the fire station number 7 design to advanced engineering services in the amount of $8,460. Funding allocation number 265 was to relocate street lighting on Kennedy at US 20 to Hawk Enterprises in the amount of $32,147.75. Funding allocation number 266, 2025-2 CCMG design of 165th Street from Kennedy to Kentucky and Michigan Street from Homan to Calumet was awarded to First Group Engineering in the amount of $92,300. Funding allocation number 267, Clark Field Sewer redesign to Nice Engineering in the amount of $16,343. This had to do with sanitary sewer in a manhole with a beehive grate that was going to be installed versus just an open pipe drainage system. Funding allocation number 268, Kennedy Avenue Road Diet Stump Removal, was awarded to Howard & Sons in the amount of $2,250. There was about a half dozen stumps that needed to be removed on the west side of the alignment. Funding allocation number 269, pavement markings and signs on Northcott at River Drive was awarded to High Star Traffic in the amount of $13,375. Funding allocation number 270, our 2025 sidewalk program to J.J. Newell Concrete in the amount of $300,000. This program helps with trip hazards, and it's mostly fueled by residential complaints. Funding allocation number 271, 2025 crack sealing program, it's at site services, in the amount of $300,000. Number 9, funding allocation 272 is a resurface of Erie Lake Awana Trail to Milestone Contractors in the amount of $927,793. The Capital Improvement Board's amount of that $900,000+ is $253,907.38. This will cover from Sibley to I-8094. Final allocation is number 273. It's the resurface of Erie Lake Awana Trail. This is the construction engineering in the amount of $45,000. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Anybody else got anything on the committee reports?
Yes, Mr. President.
Councilwoman Vines.
I'd like to announce the upcoming Crime Watch meetings. Community Watch at Mount Zion Pleasant View Plaza, which is 940 Kenwood, is Wednesday, August 13th, 1 p.m. Edison Community Watch will meet Wednesday, September 3rd, 6:30 p.m. at Edison School. Hessville Crime Watch will meet August 21st, 6 p.m. at the HC3 Community Center. Irving Community Watch will meet September 9th, which is a Tuesday, at 9:30 a.m. at Irving School. South Holman Avenue Neighborhood Watch, this is formerly the Indiana Crime Watch, will meet Thursday, September 18th, 7 p.m. at Trinity Lutheran Church on 173rd and Holman. Whiting Robertsdale will meet Thursday, August 14th, 6:30 p.m. at Calumet College. I encourage everyone to come out to a Crime Watch meeting, find out what's going on in your neighborhood and how you can prevent you or your family from becoming a victim of a crime. Because community is not just about me, it's about us. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. And coinciding with that, there's a gentleman in the audience back there that was thinking about starting a crime watch at Jefferson School again.
At which school?
Jefferson School again.
Oh, good, good.
So, I don't know if he's got an announcement yet or not, but, yeah. Okay, anybody else got anything under committee reports? Anybody else got anything under committee reports? Hearing none, item number 9, ordinance third and final passage. There are none. Item number 10, introduction of ordinances.
Item A, ordinance 25-16, sponsored by Councilwoman Vines. An ordinance creating new funds, funds number 3394, 3395, 3396, and 4682 for Series 2025 YMCA bond monies for the city of Hammond.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Vines.
I move for first and second reading of 2516.
Second.
Motion's been made by Councilwoman Vines, seconded by Councilman Spitali. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Vines.
yes, at the request of our controller, these are line items that will be used for the ordinance that was passed back in December for the YMCA bond. The new funds were established for the allocation of the bond monies for the YMCA project. And this way, the controller can access the funding as it comes in.
Any other discussion? Any other discussion? And Councilwoman Benez, as is when we always do these, it's already money that's been allocated, it's just creating the funds for that money.
Correct.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. That concludes introduction of ordinances, correct? Item number 11, resolutions, there are none. Item number 12, new and unfinished business. New and unfinished business? Nobody has anything on the new and unfinished business? New and unfinished business is closed. Item number 13, public expression. Is the clipboard signed? Thank you. Mr. Douglas?
Good evening, Council. I wasn't able to make it at the previous meeting, but I was here 2 meetings back to talk about semis on Goslin, which reminds me my address is 539. First, I want to thank Councilwoman Benez, Councilman Salinas, and Councilman Kalwinski to coming up to me after the meeting and speaking with me, seeing a few videos, photos. It's appreciated. Let me give you some updates to give you also how bad it was. The night of the Wham ride, between 12:15, right after midnight, and 1:30, in the hour and 15 minutes, there were 11 of these semis. That's how bad it was. And speaking of the officer that was on Goslin for that, he was pulling his car out onto Goslin to make sure the traffic, including the semis, were stopping. But anyway, those semis kept going through. Wednesday last week, HPD finally showed up during the day with more than one officer, started pulling officers over during the day for a couple of hours. They also did so on Thursday and Friday. So Wednesday night was quiet, Thursday night was quiet, Friday night was quiet. Saturday, I heard one go by. I noticed it was trying to go through because there was a train. More than one of those did also Sunday night, last night. And I did see a few this morning, but I also saw another officer about 3:30 today pulling over not just the cars that were blowing the stop sign, but also the few semis that happened to be cutting through still during the day. But I would like to thank everybody that was involved. It has improved. Still a little more can be done, especially when trains go by at night, but it's gotten much quieter. And one last thing, Councilman Kalwinski, after the meeting, can you let me know when the Crime Watch meeting is again? I forgot to write the date at last time I was here, so I missed that one. But that's all, everybody. There's been an improvement.
Thank you. Gary? Is Sylvester boycotting? Or is he here?
Right here.
He's here?
Want me
Okay.
to pick him up? I can't. Come on, Sylvester. I don't want to see
There he
everybody.
is.
There we go. Good evening, everybody. Well, since Council Salinas did announce that there's money for sidewalks, Dave, maybe you can get Martha finished up, Martha and Alexander, that one little northeast corner that's never been done. So anyway, hopefully you can get them to do that. Also, my other report is NIPSCO, it's still terrible. They haven't got the lights on yet, repaired, their lights. But they did get their big increase because I saw it in my electric rate, on my electric bill. So hopefully now they at least will get the lights back on too. So we'll see. Okay, but that's it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good night.
George?
George Story, Robertsdale. Got to admit, I'm not as optimistic as Gary. Yeah, it's kind of shocked in a way after listening to the mayor talking about the freeze in the levies and how the tax burden is going to be shifted increasingly to us here locally. But by the same token, no, I don't think we should be surprised. The state's been handing out exemptions, deferrals. You guys have been handing out deferrals, abatements, outright eliminations of taxes at the state level, county level. So where else is the money going to come from but us, out of our pockets? Boy, they talk about tax and spend Democrats. These Republicans, this is becoming like something out of the medieval days, where we're slowly, I suspect in 50 years, if this trend keeps up, we're going to be like fiefdoms. And, like those old movies where you watch stuff from the 15th century and the guy goes around to collect taxes and stuff. And it's insane. I don't know how much more we could be taxed. While the corporations, do they pay any tax? I said this once a couple of weeks ago. Are they paying any taxes at all? Because on top of all these exemptions, deferrals, abatements, outright elimination, like with the property tax, personal property tax, they also have their cost of doing business that's deducted. And then when you add it all up, what was it? Elon Musk didn't pay anything in taxes. Think about this. Multi-billionaire. And I don't know.
Okay, you still got a minute. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.